G'day, and welcome to the Best of the Rest F1 podcast with Sticks and Fraser. Tune in weekly to hear everything Formula One.
G'day, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Best of the Rest podcast with Sticks and Fraser. I'm Sticks.
And I'm Fraser.
And we're here for another classic.
Aren't we?
Teammate battles.
Yep, it's one of those exciting ones. It's not as much to predict because it's one against the other, but it's their biggest competition, their biggest comparison. Yep. It's the only one that's in the same bit of machinery that they can really judge where they're at.
Yeah, exactly. We thought we'd sneak this one in before the start of the season. Sneezing.
The sneezing.
Jesus. With that only, 2 days away from some action?
Yeah. We are very close. I can just about feel it.
So we better not waste any time and get straight into it.
Yeah, we're a bit slow, but we'll get there.
Righto. So how are we going to go about the teams, mate? You got a system there? Or?
Yeah, I've just gone with alphabetical order just to kind of keep things simple.
Righto. Sounds good to me.
So we'll kick it off with Alpine.
Alpine. Right, I've got Gasly beating Colapinto.
No
for
way.
A second year in a row, mate.
That's unreal.
You?
I've also got Gasly to defeat Colapinto.
I think he genuinely will thrive with that Mercedes engine this year, Gasly.
I actually think Colapinto won't do badly. Like it kind of sounds like a bit of a dig at him, but I think he'll do all right. But I think Gasly's just he's top class. He actually deserves to be in a top tier car, in my opinion. I think he deserves to be up there, podiums and winning races. But yeah, unfortunately, he got shafted from Red Bull. That was his biggest opportunity, and now he's down here.
Well, I think Colapinto is probably under the pump early doors. Didn't really have a great season last year. And from the little insight from Drive to Survive, old Flavio he loves to rip his drivers, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's pretty cutthroat.
So, yeah, I think, which, I don't know, it doesn't really seem like a great approach. Like, you're putting more and more pressure on these drivers, which I guess you sort of want the best, but you're going to force more mistakes out of them. I think he's under the pump a bit and needs to have a few good results early on to sort of crack that pressure, release it a little bit, let himself get into the vibe of it. But if, a few shunts early and he might be, who knows, with old Flavio.
Yeah, if this Mercedes power unit is as good as people are thinking, then they've got a bit of a chance. But yeah, he's just got to get over those first couple of hurdles first.
What about, just before we move on to the next team, but what about Flavio's pictures in his house of himself in different outfits? That was rogue, man.
He loves himself a bit, doesn't he?
That's insane.
I mean, I always kind of knew that he did, but far out, like, that's another level.
That's massive Fig Jam energy.
Oh.
Like, whoa, wild.
Yeah, it's a bit different. You won't catch photos like that in my house. Off to Aston Martin.
Aston Martin. Well, pretty safe to say that we've both got Alonso beating Stroll.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah. No big outside calls on that one.
Not much to add there other than you've got one of the best drivers of all time versus probably one of the worst ones. Enough said?
No comment on that. I was watching a few of the old classics of the Australian Grand Prix with Alonso in them, and the old little babyface Alonso back in 2003. Yeah, no, he's been around. He knows how to race, and he probably actually deserves a lot more championships, world titles than what he has. But and Stroll, yeah, he's Stroll. So
he needs to move on to the World Endurance Championship, I reckon. Free that seat up.
Yeah, I think he actually probably does need to have a bit of a change of scenery, young Stroll. We won't get too bogged down in that today.
Right, next team.
Audi.
I've got Bortoleto beating Hulkenberg.
I've also got Bortoleto defeating Hulkenberg.
I think Yeah, well, there's a lot of hype around Bortoletto, and he showed glimpses at times last year. Just expect him to turn it up a bit, a little bit more consistency, and yeah, the Audi seems okay, but time will tell.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've gone with Bortoletto because I did expect that he was going to do quite well last year, but I just don't think he really had that consistent machinery to do the job. Hulky B did claim his first podium, which, yeah, that was an amazing drive. Probably it was his strategy call that achieved that, probably more so than the car, but still, yeah, he's got it there. So, but yeah, I think Bortoletto, another year in, he'll have that last year under his belt. He'll know what to expect. New rules and regs that no one else is going to know what to do with. So clean slate, and yeah, I just think that he will be consistent.
I second that.
On to Cadillac.
Cadillac, this will be interesting. So I've got the fellow Australian to outdo Perez. Bottas, that is.
I've also got Bottas to defeat Perez.
Interesting.
I've gone for the Peaches.
I think it's going to be a toss-up. They're both great drivers, and they'll both be wanting to grasp the opportunity to be a number one driver after being the number two to some great drivers, with Bottas shadowing Hamilton and Perez Verstappen.
Yeah, arguably two of the best drivers of the current era.
100%. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I do think Perez probably has a pace over one lap, but I feel like Bottas probably has a race pace, slightly.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting because Bottas finished his career in a low-performing car, and Perez finished his in, well, a high-performing car in what Verstappen could do, but also that, bloody tainted second seat that no one could get hold of in Red Bull. So it's a bit hard to actually know what to expect. I think the year off will have done both of those guys a world of good, and could be anyone's game. But yeah, I've just gone for Bottas, just been around that winning ways for a little bit longer, and yeah, they've both got cool heads on their shoulders.
And Bottas didn't have a massive hit to his confidence come the end of his career, which I think probably won't hold Perez back too much, but that is something in the back of your mind, whether you're like, do I still have it? But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on this season.
All right, we're on to one of the big boy teams, Ferrari.
I've gone Leclerc over Hamilton.
I've also gone Leclerc over Hamilton.
I think it's a tough task for Hamilton to jump into that Ferrari outfit that's been built around Leclerc for an extended period of time, and then to beat him in his own machinery. It's a tough task. Leclerc's in the prime of his career. Hamilton, who knows how many seasons he's got left. This could be his final season. So I just see Leclerc, probably having that one lap pace and therefore putting himself in a better position to score more points.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with all that as well. I was pretty torn with this one because Hamilton has obviously been through quite a few rules and reg changes and been with Mercedes where they have absolutely nailed it. And then also the last set where Red Bull kind of ran away with it a bit more. So he's kind of been on both sides of it and still find a way to compete most of it. But yeah, just feel like Leclerc will be just a bit more settled within the team and the environment for the change as well. Whereas Hamilton's kind of coming in, he's still trying to find his feet within the team and then try and grasp new regs and rules and how the team are going to portray all that to him and relay all the information. I just kind of think Leclerc will kind of be a bit more on the same page and that's about all there is to it. Not too much of a performance thing.
Yeah, it's going to be another interesting one to keep an eye on. There's a lot of hype around Hamilton going into this season. A lot of people think that he's still got it.
Yeah.
There's a lot out there that also think that he's past it. Yeah, time will tell.
I honestly, I got no idea what to expect with him. I think he's definitely capable. It's just whether he grabs hold of these regs and that suits his driving style and all that kind of stuff as well. But yeah,
I mean, like
interesting.
You're really up against it when you probably, like, your teammate is probably the fastest driver on the grid over one lap. Like, Charles is a qualifying expert, so yeah, he's really got his work cut out for him just to beat his teammate. Which, I don't know. If Ferrari have the quickest car this year at some point, well, yeah, you got to beat Charles. Good luck.
Yeah, and both of those have been unreeling qualifying throughout their careers. So Hamilton obviously not so much as of late, but Leclerc I kind of put up there as a bit of a quali god, but Hamilton definitely had those capabilities when he was at his peak as well. So it'd be interesting.
Righto, who's next?
On to Haas.
I've got Behrman to beat Ocon again.
I've also gone for Behrman over Ocon.
Jeez, we really think alike, don't we?
Yeah, actually, I kind of don't like it. Maybe you should just go the opposite of everything just to
spice it up a bit.
Spice it up.
I think realistically, Behrman is only going to get better. He's on the track to Ferrari. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. I listened to an interview on the High Performance podcast that he did recently. And yeah, he's constantly working on his craft, his mindset, how to get better. And it's just interesting to see that coming from a first-year driver in Formula One. It wasn't just sort of thinking I'm the best and I've got this and I've made it to Formula One. It was very much, I've got to keep improving, I've got to keep doing better or else I'm not going to stay in this seat. And even when he was getting reasonable results, he wasn't happy with it. So I think that mindset is really going to drive you forward, especially in your early years. So I just think he will take another step this year and he'll beat Ocon.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen or heard any of that stuff that you just mentioned, but I've been keeping an eye on Behrman's development physically, I guess, or as a driver on track. And yeah, I think he's got capabilities to be really quick. And like you said, eventually he's pushing for that Ferrari seat. And I think if Hamilton was to hang up the boots, then he'd probably likely be next one in. So, and yeah, I think if he can continue with this kind of form, that for one, he should be able to beat his teammate, but also he might be a name to look out for.
Right, on to the next team. Let's see if we got something different here.
We got McLaren.
Piastri over Norris for me.
I've also gone Piastri over Norris.
Oh, wow. This is going to be interesting.
Looking at the rest of I don't know if we're going to have many changes. Anyway, Piastri over Norris. A little bit of hopes and dreams.
Yeah, same.
And
it's nice to be delusional sometimes, really.
Yeah. I don't know, like, I see that Norris will do well, but I just feel like with everything going on and the pressure of being the defending world champion, that it might all kind of just get to him a bit. Like we saw a few glimpses of it last year, and he's very critical on himself. So, whereas Piastri's very calm, collected, no emotion, even when he's happy. So, yeah, I think he'll just kind of be a bit more consistent in any challenges that they're trying to work through and, hopefully keep it all a bit together. And Norris, just Not that he necessarily do anything wrong, but just maybe not as consistent as Piastri.
I think between the boys at McLaren, it's a genuine coin toss. Like, you can't really confidently say one's going to beat the other because they're both so evenly matched. They'll have a decent car under them. So, yeah, can Piastri put a season together where he doesn't have that lapse like he did for the 5-6 race run that he had towards the end of last year? That's basically the only difference I can sort of see there because, yeah, Norris I feel like he's going to have that self-belief after winning the championship. There's going to be more pressure, but there's also going to be an element of, well, I've already done it. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. I think it's a genuine coin toss, and I'm just going for the Aussie boy.
No, that's fair enough, mate. All right, on to Mercedes.
Now, this is where I think things are going to spice up a little bit.
Right.
What's all the noise you're hearing out there? Russell's going to win. Russell for the championship. It's Russell's to lose.
Antonelli to win the championship.
Antonelli to beat Russell.
Have you?
Yep.
No, fair enough.
Surely you haven't got the same.
I've gone for Russell over Antonelli. I've gone probably arguably the safer bet, but not saying it. Yeah, either could definitely happen. I mean, I'd fucking love to see Antonelli.
How good would that be?
Beating Russell or consistent podiums or whatever that would mean to beat his teammate. But yeah, I mean, we saw a sprint win, and did he win the sprint? I can't remember.
Yeah,
now.
I think he did.
Or was it the pole? It was a sprint pole. I think it was sprint pole, wasn't it? And he didn't win anyway. And he got
he jumped second or third.
He got third.
Yeah, that rings a bell.
That was what race was that? Was that Canada when the two McLarens crashed together?
Got no idea, to be honest.
Can't remember what race it was, but yeah, it was when the two McLarens crashed. Norris went into the wall.
Even his performance in Australia to qualify 16th and then finish 4th.
Yeah, he had a few unreal ones like that kind of went a bit under the radar. Like,
unbelievable.
Yeah, didn't put in such a good quali, but just climbed back through the field and kind of went, like, the praise was there, but it just kind of got forgotten about because it wasn't a big result in the end.
And I think the thing is, like, the back half of the season, it was all just about the championship battle where a lot of these sort of results for rookie drivers got glossed over to a certain extent. It's just very much about what's going on between Verstappen, Norris, Piastri, but yeah, he's definitely got the potential. It's just going to be the consistency, and it's going to be a big ask. But yeah, I'm hoping he can get the job done over Russell.
Yeah, no, I'd love to see it. I have locked in Russell. Yeah, I think he was a little bit of an unsung hero last year as well. Just kind of snuck under the radar and just kind of, he was always there and thereabouts, just getting those kind of consistent points. Wasn't, winning many races or whatever, but he'd always be there as like a third or a fourth, or if someone slipped up, he'd get a few more points. But
I'm just a little concerned that how big does Russell's head get if he starts winning races, leading the championship, becoming the man? It's the Russell show. He already struts around like he's the man. He doesn't lack any confidence at all, does he?
Yeah, I don't know if I could handle that, but yeah, I mean, I think he'll beat his teammate, and maybe we'll leave it there.
That's it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. If that does, how all the predictions from all the experts are playing out that Russell's going to be up there and competing at the top. Like, yeah, how cocky does this bloke get?
I guess if he's doing it, we'll find out.
Shit. Right, next team.
Next up, we have Racing Bulls.
Lawson over Lindblad for me.
I've also gone Lawson over Lindblad.
I just think experience over the rookie.
Yeah, I think Lindblad's a exceptional talent. Because I think they skipped F3 with him, didn't they? They went straight from F4 to F2 to kind of fast track him a bit. I think. Anyway, don't quote me on that. But yeah, he's obviously a very talented driver that they've had their eye on for a little while. And he was always going to come into the program and eventually be in F1. But yeah, I think it's still just a little bit early in the sense of he's not going to be claiming huge points and consistently beating his teammate. I think he'll probably have a few good drives, but I don't think we'll see him on a podium or anything like that. One for being in Racing Bull, but also just a bit early in his career. But I think he's probably on a similar path to the Antonellis and the Behrmans, and he'll be one to watch out for.
I think Lawson having a full season in a stable team should do him wonders. He's got a lot to prove, and it's going to be a very crucial year for him in terms of his Formula One career moving forward. I don't know whether he will necessarily stay in that Racing Bull team come the end of the year. So he needs to, boost his CV and hopefully keep some doors open at other teams moving forward.
Yeah, well, that's it too. Lawson's seeming quite settled there, so I think he'll have a bit more of a comfortable, consistent season.
Building words out here.
That's a good one. He'll have a season this year. Comfortable and consistent season.
Also known as a season.
Yeah, it's a season if you want to shorten it. Where he'll just pick up some steady points and be hard for his teammate to get on top of.
Right. 2 teams left, I believe.
2 teams left. Red Bull.
I don't think there's going to be much to say here, is there? Verstappen over Hadjar.
Yeah, similar thing. Verstappen over Hadjar. Hadjar still early in his career. Another one that's probably going to be a name to look out for. It's actually great to be saying this because just about all the rookies, all the rookies from last year are ones that we're saying have got talent if they're given the opportunity. So it's good to see that, one, there were so many rookies last year, but they're also still on with the team and doing well and improving. But yeah, with Verstappen as your teammate, you haven't got a snowflake's chance in hell, really, do you?
I think Hadjar, his pass mark will be to beat Verstappen in a few qualifyings. Maybe 2 to 5 in that range. If he can do that, that's pretty good. And then keep up to a certain extent in points. Not get absolutely blown away, but keep in the vicinity of Verstappen. Can't speak either. It's good for a podcast.
Yeah.
Keep in the vicinity of Verstappen come the end of the season. So you've actually broken that curse of the second seat, and then build on that from there on out.
Yeah, I think that's all you can really do, isn't it? Just try and keep as consistent as possible. And I think the main thing, like even when Red Bull were on top, all they really wanted for that second seat was to be the second driver to Verstappen and pick up the points where the opportunities arise. So if Hadjar can do that, he doesn't need to go beating Verstappen. Verstappen's a 4-time world champion.
Yeah.
He's a 4-time world champion for a reason. So,
right, last team.
That would be Williams.
I've got the smooth operator himself beating an Albon.
I've also gone for Sainz over Albon. That was one that I was tossing up. And when we get to our driver predictions, you'll see that I've put them one after the other. And I changed my mind a couple of times with who was higher. And I actually think this might even be a prediction I'll throw out there later. I might try and determine the points, like
the difference between them.
Yeah,
interesting.
I'll have to have a look to see what's reasonable, whether it's like a single figures difference or a less than 20, or
I think between those two,
it'll be marginal difference.
Yeah, it's going to be close,
like a race or two's kind of result.
The only way it's not close, I think, is if Albon Albon continues this season the way he finished last season. Because for Williams, it was a season of 2 halves for both drivers. Yep. Sainz struggled and then come good, where Albon had the flip side to that. Like, he was on fire to start off with.
He was unreal.
And then bit of bad luck, and then just not really scoring too many points in the back half of the season. But, good driver pairing. Hopefully quite close between them, and they can drive Williams forward. And, well, they're probably not going to do too much this year. Like, they wanted to crack into that top 4, the front runners, but that may be a task for next year.
Yeah, I mean, well, they have got that Mercedes power unit, so again, if it is as good as everyone reckons, then they definitely showed signs that they could SIGNS that they could perform quite well and pick up quality points and podiums and stick it to the big dogs. So they've definitely got the potential to be up there and threatening the kind of big four teams as such. But
I can only hope, mate. I can only hope.
Only time will tell.
Righto, so that's our teammate battles coming into the 26th season. Not too many oddballs there, apart from our Antonelli-Russell disagreement.
Yeah.
So that's basically going to come down to whoever wins this.
I think we only had one difference last season as well, and I think that one might have been Behrman and Ocon. I jumped on board your Behrman defeating Ocon, but didn't pick the Antonelli over Russell.
That's all right. Next year you can copy the Antonelli and Russell call if you want.
Yeah,
that comes good.
Here we go.
Righto, so that's the end of that. We'll call box.
Okay, time to get out of here. Thanks for listening. If you've enjoyed us, then subscribe, like, leave us a comment, a review. We'd love to hear your feedback, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Catch you later.
See ya.
Oh, look at this. This is not a dog. This is a piece of shit.
Wave his magic driving sticks.
Yeah.